New Star FC are the Pits, a tin pot club struggling in England's non-league with a ramshackle ground, crumbling facilities and a team made up of old cloggers and young wet behind the ear kids. With just a few games to go in the current season, you're parachuted in to help the club out and to try and turn the fortunes around. Now, unless you're trying to play this whilst doing the Bird Box Challenge, you should breeze through these final games of the season, which, in fact, actually serve as a welcoming tutorial. And once the celebrations of survival have died down, you're installed as New Star's permanent manager, and work begins in earnest on building this small club up to eventual European giants. So, can you channel your inner Guardiola and become a legend, or will you hit the skids like a non-league Mourinho? It's all to play for in New Star Manager on the Nintendo Switch. Now, New Star makes its console debut after a big money move from mobile devices. The £15 transfer fee makes the move seem like a lot to pay for a game that was once available on a free transfer on mobile. Although on mobile the game had a myriad of in-app purchase payments in its contract that could potentially leave its then owners very much out of pocket. Thankfully, the new console version is just that one-off premium fee with no sign of in-app purchases, and as an added bonus also includes an in-game editor to allow you to change your team's name, kit colours and a few other options as well. Hopefully the fee will be seen as small change if the game can deliver over the coming months and years. Well, the potential's all there. This is a more casual take on the football management genre, and whilst you can take a deep dive into some of the limited number of stats that make up each player, it's more focused on the bigger decisions around the club more than the minutiae. You can instruct new facilities to be built, from laying a new pitch, building new stands in your stadium, opening a club shop and so on. All of these are upgradable a number of times and also change the look of your hub screen as you start to build up your empire. The fictional players and staff are represented by cards that can be bought, sold and received as rewards. Like most things in the game, players are upgradable by applying training and skill boosting cards onto them, increasing their value and ability, but at the cost of energy. But even this can be quickly replenished with an NRG card. This was one of the particular grievances with the mobile version. Your players would quickly run out of energy, as you also would with energy boosting cards, leaving little choice but to wait it out until the energy recovered or spend real world money on buying the cards. Again, thankfully here, whilst energy management is still very important and runs out almost as quickly as the mobile version, the energy cards are in generous supply, so keeping your team in tip-top condition is rarely an issue. Once it's time to send the boys over the white line and onto the pitch, New Star takes management sims to a different place than that of FM. Whilst directly affecting the result is solely down to tactical nous and luck in Football Manager, in New Star you are very much hands-on. Matches initially play out in a fashion started 30 odd years ago by Kevin Tom's Football Manager games, with commentary being delivered by scrolling text updates. But once your team is on the attack, you are given almost direct arcade-style control over the play. Controls can be a little overwhelming at first, but with both the excellent tutorial to play through and the fact the game displays the controls on screen at all times, it really doesn't take long to adjust. I've made a more detailed video about how the controls work as well. I'll leave a link to that in the description below. It should be noted too that whilst the game controls superbly with a controller, you do also have the option of playing entirely via the touchscreen in very much the same way as the mobile version. The match action is almost turn-based, with plays stopping when the ball stops, allowing you to reposition your players and plan out attacks. There are some random elements here with player skill, fatigue and mood affecting how well they control the ball, and other factors like pitch conditions and weather can also play a part. Generally, it can be a bit on the easy side to take your chances, meaning especially in the lower leagues you should comfortably be able to win most of your matches. But if you consider the leagues to be like difficulty tiers rather than traditional divisions, and that should make more sense if you think the game is too easy. Once you're working up through League 1 and the Championship and up to Premier League, chances will be much harder to take, with quicker defenders and better goalkeepers all determined to keep you at bay. This is where ensuring you keep improving your players and ultimately your club as a whole come into play, as you don't want to be stuck with your lower league cloggers as you try to reach the game's elite. If a player isn't going to cut it, then dip into the transfer market and find a better one to do the job. Buying and selling players in New Star is also a more casual affair than the more realistic management games, and it's more fun with it. Buying players and negotiating new contracts involves a higher or lower mini-game. The further you can keep the right guesses going, the less the final payment you'll have to make on the player or contract. While selling a player at auction is a tense affair of how long you can hold out for the best price in a 10-second auction, risking losing all your buyers if you don't snap up the best looking offer very quickly. There are many more instances of these little arcadey touches in New Star, and it really helps keep the game interesting and fun. There's always something to do, and the game moves along at a cracking pace. It becomes a very addictive loop of midweek admin tasks, followed by playing out quick-fire matches at the weekend. The only niggles I can think of are a couple of crashes that occur during my playtime, and also sometimes the frame rate can randomly drop during matches, which is a bit annoying, but doesn't really affect the gameplay. In terms of visuals, the graphics can look a little bit blurry and low resolution at times, especially on handheld, but I do like the art style overall. Sound is restricted to a piece of looped music in the menus, and the usual footballing sound effects that you'd expect once in the game. And if you can't tell already, then I love this game. I think even at the premium price point of £15, you're getting a bargain in terms of just the hundreds and hundreds of hours that you can be poured into the game, and the fantastic journey and stories that you'll have on the way. And I have no hesitation in highly recommending this game, and I'm going to give it a score of 8.5 out of 10. I hope you enjoyed that review of New Star Soccer on the Nintendo Switch. And if you check out my channel, I've also made some short videos on the game, just explaining how a few things work. So be sure to check those out. And also subscribe if you like these videos. That'd be really great. Thanks a lot. But until then, I will say goodbye and see you later.